File maintenance commands. In this lesson, we will cover a few of the commands that are used to maintain or keep or change your files. Some of the commands are listed here. The first one is the copy command, cp, which copies one file to another. The second one is to remove a file, which is rm. The third one is move. This command is used to move the location of a file from one location to another or to rename a file. So it does two things, or it serves two purposes. Then we have mkdir, which is to make directory, and then rmdir to remove a directory, or there's another way to remove a directory by typing rm space -r or -r. Then we have change group, which is the ownership of a file at the group level. And then we have change ownership, which is the ownership of the file at the user level. Some of the commands we have already covered, and some of the commands we will be covering in this lesson. So let's go to our Linux machine and go over these commands one by one. And let's log into our machine. We already have the last screen open. Let's clear this out. Where are we? We are in etc. When you type cd and hit enter and then pwd, now you are back in your home directory. Clear the page, so this way you'll start fresh. Now the first command that we will be learning is cp. Again, cp is a copy command. You can find out by hitting man and cp. This will tell you cp copy files and directories. So the way you could do it in Windows is you right click on a file and you get the option of copy, and then you go to another file, another directory or another location, and then right click and do the paste. In Linux, this is how it works. Let's look at our listing. We have all these files. So now we will copy the file called George, and we will name it to a different name. Let's say another character of a show, David. And you hit enter. So this will tell you that cp space source, which is the George, and the destination, which is the David. Here you hit enter. And then you do ls-ltr. The tr option will give you the newest file created at the bottom. You hit enter. So the David file is created. If you also notice, the George file is still there, and it created a file, copied the file George and renamed it David. We could also add something to the file, is let's say echo David Putty is Elaine's boyfriend. And then we'll output to David and hit enter. And how do you verify it? You do cat David. You will see the contents in there. That's what you do the copy for. You could also do is you copy David, and then you can copy it not at this location where you are. You could copy it some other location. Let's say we wanted to copy it into temp location. So it is going to copy it. It's not going to remove that file. It will copy it to the temp directory. You hit enter. Do ls-ltr. You'll see it has the David copy, the original copy here. Now we will go to /temp. And then we will do ls-ltr at the bottom to see the file is there. See the same file that we copied, but it's in a different location. And it is owned by me, owned by the same group as myself, and it has the same number of bytes. You could do cat and David to see what's inside of the file. So which directory you are in? We are in temp directory. If you want to go back to our home directory, just simply type cd, hit enter, pwd, and you are back in your home directory, ls-ltr, and that's what you have all the files. That's about the copy. You could practice that copy command by copying different files to different names, whichever names that you like. The next command we're going to learn is remove. Let's create another file, touch and we will create a new file in Homer, Bart, Marge, Lisa, and we call another file Apu. Apu is another character of Simpsons family, so we'll create this file called Apu, and we'll do ls-ltr, and you'll see it created a file. Apu, when if we wanted to append that file or add something to that file, what do? We do echo. Apu is an Indian character in the show, right? So I'll put that to where? Apu. How do you verify it? Apu. Apu is an Indian character. That's how you do it. Now you want to remove this file now. After certain times, you don't need it. So what you do rmapo. Simply is that. Hit enter and it's gone. Let's try it. Let's make sure it's gone or not. Yes, see, there is no such file Apu in our directory because we removed it. We could also remove a directory, but we'll cover that when its turn's gonna come. The next command we have to learn is move. Now move command actually moves the file from one location to another and also renames the file. How does it work? Let's call Lax. In Superman, there's this character, of course, it's a villain character, Lax. So let's see, we have the Lax. Yes, we have there. We wanted to rename that to Luthor. So Lax's last name was Luthor. So let's try. We wanted to change it to Luthor. So how do we do it? We do move Lax. And this is, of course, the source. And what's the destination name you want to give it to? Luthor. Luthter. This is going to rename this file within the same directory. Hit enter. ls-ltr. And here you see Luthor. So this is how you rename it. If you wanted to rename any other file, you could do that, or you wanted to create a different file, you could do that. Let's say we have this file called David, and we wanted to change it to the last name, of course, which is move David to Putty. So that's his last name. So we are moving David to the name Putty. So ls-ltr. So it changed the name from David to Putty, but it kept the content of that file, which was, if you do cat, you'll see David Putty is Elaine's boyfriend. So it just changed the name, it didn't change the content. Next one, by the way, also to change the location is if you wanted to move Putty from this location to a different location, let's say to temp, it will move that file to a different location, temp. Now let's see, do we still have that file? No, we don't. Where did it go? We moved it to temp. So how do we know it moved to temp? You'd cd into temp, ls-ltr. See, this is the Putty file that you created. Now just move this back to move Putty back to our home directory. And what is our home directory? You guys should know that. Home, your username, and hit enter. It should bring you back to your home directory. When you do cd, hit enter, it will bring you back to your home directory. Do ls-ltr, and your Putty file is back. Next one is make directory. It's simply, we will make mkdir, Game of Thrones, one of the biggest show. How's that? We created this. This is how the new directory is created. Make dir. Now let's try command, which is remove directory. So remove directory. If you want to delete one of these directories from your home directory, let's say I wanted to remove Game of Thrones directory, you just simply type rmdir and Game of Thrones, and it is gone. This is one way to remove it. Another way to remove it, in order for us to remove it, let's recreate it again. Hit up arrow key and you will get back to the same command, make dir Game of Thrones. The directory is created. Another way to remove it is rm-r Game of Thrones, and it is gone. Alright, next command we have change group. Changing group is changing the ownership of the file, changing the ownership of a group. of a file, and the last command is changing the ownership of a file. So if I wanted to change the ownership of file putty, and I wanted to change it to group called root, so we will do change grp root putty. It says operation not permitted. Why? Because who we are ourselves, and who can make these changes. If I wanted to assign something to root, I have to be root. So let's become root. Once you're root, let's go back to our home directory. And now we'll do change grp root and putty. And this time it worked because we have all permissions in the world we could think of. Now, next command, change ownership to root of putty. This will change the ownership of the file name putty to root as well. Now, if you wanted to do both commands at once, so change owner, you could do ifzol ifzol putty. So what this command will do, it will change the ownership as well as group ownership of the file name putty. Hit enter, ls-ltr, and there you go, you got your file back with the original permissions or original ownership permission. So these are the file maintenance command. Once again, the recap: cp rm move mkdir, remove dir, change group, change ownership.